name is Cypher Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Will begin in 30 seconds.
That was the first time.
Competitors stand by. Ready, set, go. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. 30 seconds.
Confirmation. Time out. Says all the Canadians got spanked in this race. Around 15 seconds left.
Competitors stand by.
Outside the vehicle, car continues to left. Watch it with you. 8 seconds left. 6, 5, 3,
Ready,
2. Watch it with you. 8, 7, go. 20
seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Third time in a row.
Round number 3 will begin in 30 seconds. New target score is 128.4 Do not exceed this value.
New score 128.4. Random score 128.
Competitors stand by. Ready, set, go. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Tiebreaker round number 4 will begin in 30 seconds. New target score is 128.40. Do not exceed this value.
case you aren't counting, that was
Competitors stand by.
4 ties in a row.
Ready, set, go. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
That's 5
Number
ties.
5 will begin in 30 seconds. New target score is 128.5 dB. Do not exceed this value. Competitors stand by. Ready, set, go. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Chris did it! CJ did it!
All right. We're back here now. I want to welcome CJ Dewitt, that guy, 2016 129.9 world champion. How's it going, CJ?
Doing all right. How about you?
Just fine. Once we discuss this stuff, I just wanted to bring it to you, everybody's attention. That's how World Finals used to be. We mentioned it slightly on the last podcast here. We had multiple locations, and we kind of had lag. Who was it that made that video for you there, CJ?
That was one of my grandfathers. He actually made the video
Okay.
or put them together.
Correct. So somebody has a video in Tennessee that year, I believe. Is that where you guys were?
He was actually in Ohio while we were in Louisiana competing.
Okay, so you were in Louisiana, and Louisville, right? No,
Yeah, Louisville. Sorry.
So sorry. Yeah, you were in Louisville. We were in Sacramento, California. Chemo, I believe, had the screen on the right, which was the California location and filming. Oh, Kentucky. Is Jessie your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I remember your mom and your dad from the events. So your Papa Chuck recorded it. But he did a great job. He put the two videos together, posted it to CJ's timeline on the Facebook page, and like I said, that's a memory that now you have forever, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So with that being said, how's it going, CJ?
Not going too bad.
I looked in there. Your stats kind of stopped after 2017. What happened to you?
Took a break and I'm trying to finish college first. Once I get done with college, I honestly think I might get back into the scene.
Okay, cool. And you're going for what?
Automotive / high performance.
Okay. So is your goal ultimately to work for a team? Like a drag team or a NASCAR team or something?
Maybe that, or I like making custom cars, so like custom body panels, custom interior, whatever makes a car unique.
There you go. I have a 74 Trans Am I paid 4 people to finish up, and it's still sitting in my garage. Your mom says she still wears the ring. She says, and I wear that ring still. I know you haven't been part of my channel before, but as people that have been part of my channel know, we love to talk about how family is involved with this. You mind telling us how your family's involved with your success?
Well, my dad is the one who got me into the whole audio scene where I got my first system.
Okay.
And ever since then, me and him been building different boxes, trying different things to make it louder. Just we used it as a way to bond and actually have more time to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been going to every one of my events, so he's been my biggest supporter.
Yeah. I met both your parents actually at SBN, Spring Break Nationals.
Yep.
And that was before World Finals. And then obviously at World Finals, you guys did a great job. Once again, I mean, your family was awesome. I can't even begin to tell you how cool it was to see the family support. So your dad got you into the car audio thing. How did he end up getting you into it? I mean, just he liked it always, or what?
He knew I was all about cars, so he found a way to get me more into it, something that we could do together and actually build together since we already fixed the car.
Yep, your dad says right there. He says he went undefeated that year. That's a pretty impressive record. Where did you compete mostly? What area?
More South Georgia, Southeast area. I did travel, I think, that year for Slamology or Slam Fest. It was
Slamology.
Yep.
Yep.
Up in Indiana.
Yes.
I traveled for that one.
Okay, cool. And Spring Break is probably not that far from where you were located at the time, right?
Yep.
Okay. Very nice. That's, I mean, like I said, the car audio thing, it's people may not know you were 16, correct?
At the time, yeah.
At the time, you were 16 going against Hoodie in Sacramento, who was 16 also. So the combined age of the two, 1 and 2 for World Finals that year for the 129.9 base race was 32 years old. Dude, that's awesome, right? What other industry can you have? I mean, and I don't know if you saw the video or looked at it, but Hoodie's sitting down at the back of the car. He brought a lawn chair and he was going out, and he's sitting there, and the guy standing right next to him, that's his dad. And it was the same thing for Hoodie. He absolutely 100% got involved, was competing. His dad traveled around with him all over California to compete at these events. Like I said, that's something, you can never have that time back. And I mean, I'm sure you would agree. It was well worth every moment that you guys put into it, right?
Definitely. Traveling everywhere to go compete.
Mm-hmm. What about the people? Any notable shows that stood out to you other than World Finals?
Spring Break National is a good one. I can't remember the name of the actual show, but it was in Eastern Georgia. We actually went to a shop out there that was actually hosting the event, and that was just a fun time in general, just hanging out with everyone.
Okay. Did you ever end up joining any teams or?
I was in 2 different car clubs at the time, both that actually competed in DB Drag. I was in the Street Sweepers to start with, and then I went over and joined the Universal Car Club, and I competed with them.
There, your mom put it up there. Street Weepers is what she put. I think she missed the S.
Yep.
And then UCC. So no, that's freaking. Let's see, Team Po Boys and Universal Car Club. We have a team out here called Team Po Boys, and it's actually Po Boys Car Audio. We got Fat Boys. Yeah, we got Fat Boys. We got Po Boys. Yeah, we have them all kinds out here. So you did compete, world champion. Did you get a ring too, or did you just give the one to your mom?
No, I just had the one that my mom wears. She likes to hold on to it.
Moms do that. As a matter of fact, the reason we're doing this on a Thursday instead of a Monday is my wife's some silly thing about her missing her babies. So my 2 youngest kids are in Wichita, and she has next week off. So we're gonna drive up to Wichita from California, and we're leaving tonight. So I would have been remote and probably not be able to do the podcast on Monday. So that's why we're doing it today. Speaking of which, if you are listening to the podcast on iHeart or on iTunes, like and share it. If you're watching this live on Facebook, please like, share, do whatever we can. We want to raise this thing. We want to get this bigger and bigger and bigger. So your dad also mentions you at SBN you went against Gary Killian in his Prius.
That's actually where I got my competing name, is at that event.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I forget who said it, but someone said that's that guy who beat Gary Killian. It's like ever since then that's where it's stuck.
Okay.
My dad's like, we have to change it. That's how I competed that year.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I did notice you guys changed it because you did initially you did compete under CJ Dewitt, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I think at spring breaks that year, I think I was calling you out as CJ Dewitt during that run. Anyway, so I mean, that's the only show you've been to of mine. No, you've been to 2 spring breaks of mine, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you went to the one at the racetrack, and then the one where we were under that big white tent, right?
Yeah, outside the event center or something like that.
Yes. So, what did you think of my shows?
They're pretty good. I actually enjoyed going out there.
Okay.
Because they had a bunch to do instead of like some of them that are just audio. We had the car scene inside, and at the track it was really nice.
The track was awesome. How did you like the demos inside the building at spring break?
It almost felt like the friggin' building was going to fall apart.
Yeah. Because that's kind of where we got the idea for Cyclone. They had demos inside there, right? That was really cool. They were doing for 10 minutes on the hour. You can, dude, that thing was so deafening in there. So you've been to Spring Break Nationals. You've been to Slamology. What'd you think of Slamology?
It was way bigger than I expected, and because it was the car show, you had the SBN part, and just be able to, they had a little path that you could drive to go look at all the cars in the car show. Okay. But it was a really hot area. There's like no shade.
Let's see. Randy Kaufman mentions KBH Summer Jam of Kingsland, Georgia was the show.
Yeah, that was the one in East Georgia I was talking about.
Okay. Pray he gets back into the audio world again. Your mom misses it. That's never going to change, I promise you. My wife, like I said, she's really into her kids. I don't doubt that your mom is too. It's a great thing. So how much did your system cost? Let's get there. That's probably a reasonable question, right?
Yeah. I think our first system was around $1,000 to $1,200 just because of what we went with. Mm-hmm. But I still have that system to this day.
Okay. And you were able, with $1,200 roughly, to be a world champion, right?
Yeah, and it could take less. It's just I went with a more expensive brand, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So what did you? It was zero for you. Your dad said. Yeah, your dad's telling us it cost you nothing. He paid for everything. That's one of the great things about base race, in my opinion, is you can come in with, almost nothing invested into your base race and be a national competitor, right?
Yeah.
It's you did 129.9. So one of the other things we try to do on this channel, like I said, we talk about the shows, the things that happened. Do you have any tips or tricks for new guys? Because I do have quite a few new guys that watch this thing. So what would you suggest to a new guy, possibly first time in the lanes?
Just be comfortable. Don't try to overthink it. especially with base race. Don't try to start too early because I've done that and red lighted. And it's not a race to get up there as fast as you can. Because if you watch how I used to do it, I would get up there at the very end. I would slowly climb. There's some people that would just crank it and break right out.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Nothing at the start, but finish big. Took several different boxes to get the sound just right. It takes time. That's what your mom says.
Oh yeah, we
Go
went through a lot of boxes just testing different things.
ahead. Did you ever have by any chance test a sealed box?
We did not actually test the sealed box. We went ported the entire way.
Just a hint to possibly new competitors. If you're going to stay in base race, a sealed box has a broader range, makes it easier to maintain your SPL numbers. So just a thought. The problem is you have to really power the subwoofers, right, in a sealed versus a ported, because a ported box gives you a 3 decibel bump, right? So you definitely have to overpower it if you do that. Any tricks that you saw? I mean, was there something that worked for you better? Maybe, so you're not familiar, but we have changed the rules slightly in base race. Now we have a song quality, okay? And so what that is it reads the song, and 50% of the song 50% of the score, your score has to exceed 180, but 50% of your score is whether the amplitude changes, so whether how loud the top note is changes or not, and if the whatever note you're playing changes. So it checks for a sine wave and it checks for amplitude.
So to make sure this dBs are the song's pretty much changing, not a constant tone.
Correct. That is correct. And the first couple times we did it out here in California, the guys are like, "Well, that's a song I've used for years and years and years." Well, it's no longer good. Brian Nyman, he was supposed to pop in, but anyway, Brian Nyman's supposed to pop in. He was one of the guys. He told me, he goes, I've used Thug Motivation since base race started, and Thug Motivation does not pass the test nowadays. So I don't. What song did you used to use?
I honestly can't remember the name. I bet my dad probably will type it in the chat because he remembers everything. But I know at the very start when I first started playing, it was Beamer, Benz, or Bentley.
Say again.
Beamer, Benz, or Bentley.
Okay.
Huh. That used to be my song. That was when I first started, but I've changed it to get a better song as I went, whatever I felt more comfortable with.
Yeah. Your mom says, your dad says F the police.
That might have been a song. I don't know.
Your mom said you better pick a different song, which is true. Like I said, so if you're going to get back into base race, the one thing you are going to need to know is definitely you're going to have to look at the at your song and make sure you pass the song quality test. So I'm sure your dad's probably better at this. Hey, as a matter of fact, if your dad wants to jump in with us, he's more than welcome to. Hit me with the thumbs up or something, and I'll send him a private message with the info on how to jump in, if he wants to do that. Otherwise, like I said, so what are some of the mistakes that you made, either in the lane or in practicing or what?
Definitely being too cocky sometimes, thinking that no one could beat me or something. It bite me in the butt.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, and for a little bit I tried to use Bluetooth, and that's just iffy. You can lose signal right in the middle of your run and screw you right over.
Okay, I'm going to invite your dad in here right now, Chris. Chris Dewitt. There he is. And let me... Oops, hold on just a quick second. I need to pull up some information here. Participants. Copy invite and send it to your dad. Paste. There you go. All right, so we invite your dad. Whenever he pops in here, we'll invite him on here. He can come on with us. Wrong button. Wrong button. That's the right button. Okay. Anyway, so you got to be careful with that. Another thing I see people do with base race is they worry about their competitor's score.
I definitely done that a lot.
So what did you do to stop doing that? That's probably really helpful to these people, you know?
Just try to like focus strictly on yours. There was also a big thing that when I went to like bigger events, it actually threw me off a lot. Is I used to listen to my car when I was playing, and
Okay.
when you're competing in bigger arenas or near louder cars, because 129 are quiet,
Yes.
the noise of the other cars threw me off so much because I'm so used to my sound.
Okay.
So my numbers would jump all over the place. I gotta pretty much just watch the numbers, not listen to anything else.
Yes. So I don't know if you paid attention in the video, but I did the ready, set, go for the guys instead of the computer saying it. Did you ever have that? I mean, did you have me do that for you? Do the ready, set, go?
I think you did it a few times.
Okay.
I just start a little late. That's how I used to do it.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so yeah, that's one way to do it. But if you do start late, you got to have plenty of headroom, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what was your SPL score?
My highest or just
No, so when you were doing base race, you had an SPL score, right? So what was your SPL so that you could? What was your peak SPL so that you can do base race at 129.9?
around, I think 136, 137 was my
Right.
peak if I tried.
Let's admit your dad here. Let's see here. 3-person. There he is. Can you hear us, Chris? He may not have entered with audio. Oops, wrong button. Can you hear us, Chris? I can't hear your dad. Anyway, your mom said the World Finals was really hard. It was loud. Oop. I think he abandoned us.
He might be trying to fix his phone.
Yeah, if he pops back on, we'll take him again. The world champ from 2015 tried to get in your head. Tell us that story.
Nah, not really. It was just talking, trying to like, just being friendly. He wasn't really trying to get in my head. It was just my mom was overreacting.
Moms don't do that. Hey, Brian Nyman's supposed to be coming in. I saw him. He's texting now, so that's a good thing. So who was that, if you don't mind?
God, it's been a long time. I can't put a name to him.
Oh, okay. I don't remember who 2015. You know, I've been part of World Finals since 2005 as a judge. So 2015 was a long time ago for some old guy like me, you know.
Yeah.
So have you been to some Sam Horn events?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, okay. Sam Horn's another one of those judges that is just, you know, he has a great time. You guys do everything he does is to help the competitors. It's a different event, similar to when you go to one of mine. If you were to come to one of mine on the East Coast or on the West Coast, sorry, you would see. Just so you know, we've been having turnouts in the high 50s, low 60s for 1X events out here. So that's really good turnouts. I mean, that's bigger than the turnouts we were seeing over at like Spring Break Nationals and stuff towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried Top Dog?
Yeah, I used to compete in that a lot.
Okay, and
It's definitely a different experience because the time just keeps going, and the whole points, it throws you off a little bit at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it's a whole different. I guess competing, it's completely different.
oh yeah,
But we had fun doing it because of the friends I used to compete with, like they would compete in 139 and 149. I couldn't actually ever go against them. But Top Dog, you can go against anyone because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
compete at any level.
Yeah, so the other thing about Top Dog, I mean, a little known trick by a couple guys. So the loud guys, the high 130s, 140s guys, they would get in the right lane, and if they busted out or screwed up or something, they would open their driver door to try and mess up the mic of the 129 or 119.9 guys, you know. Those are things that happen. Those are some of the tricks that some of the people used. Another one that we've heard recently is they were demoing or they were DB dragging or whatever, and they forgot to reset their volume to the correct level. Like you start on level 6 or 10 or whatever you start on.
Yeah.
And then they way over what they were supposed to, shoot right out the box. But Top Dog's awesome because in Top Dog you can go up, down, whatever, and be however you can settle in, right? So you can go over and come back down.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, Mr. Tattoo. So he's a new guy out of Reno. He just loves this. He just built a brand new car. Josh, you want to chime in here with us? If so, I am going to send Josh a message real quick and get him on here because I think Josh would have a great. He'd be able to. He would be able to ask you some things that may help him. So far I see a lot of your family in here. I didn't see your grandpa post in here yet, but I'm sure he's watching because he was looking for that.
Yeah.
Josh, if you're there, chime on in. Let me know when you get here. How much longer do you have for your schooling?
5 more weeks and I'm done.
5 more weeks. Sweet. And so, how has that been? Okay, so there he is, Josh. Let me pull him in here real quick. And Zoom 3 people. How's it going, Josh? Can you hear us?
You there?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now, Josh.
Sweet. What's up, guys?
Josh, so this guy here, he is 2016 world champion for 29.9 base race. So, where are you living at now, sir?
Are you talking to me, Doug?
No. CJ.
Okay.
I'm living up in Ohio right now.
So he's living in Ohio. Hey,
Okay.
So Josh, since you've had talked to a handful of really good competitors, would you have any questions for CJ here?
Oh man, I think he already answered my questions.
Okay.
I mean, the not starting too fast is a big deal. I noticed just practicing with my term lab, if you jump on it, it red lights you right out the gate. So that's definitely, you got to wait a second, man. You don't want to rush that, rush into turning the volume up. I mean, one thing that you definitely said, and what's his name again? What's your name? CJ. So one thing that has clicked with me is just taking a breath and not getting, focusing, having a balanced energy with everything you do. I think I remember telling Doug one of these last times he got into my truck, and I says, Doug will always look at me and says, "You gonna do it this time?" And I'm bringing like second and third place trophies home, but this one particular time I was up against Lucky McGovern, and I was getting ready to take all his points, and I looked at Doug and I says, "Doug, leave me alone." and I went after it, and I actually won. I actually won that. I won. I think I took second place home that night, but I almost took Lucky's points. And yeah, I mean, I think the hardest thing is just staying calm.
And so, how old are you, Josh?
I'm 41.
Okay, you're 41, and then you got, CJ at the other end at 16. And that's one of the things I love about the car audio thing is, I mean, wherever would you get together a 41-year-old guy that builds pool tables for a living and a 21-year-old guy who's going to school to become, a high-end mechanic for, race cars and stuff, right? It's just, this industry is completely awesome.
Yeah.
So CJ, have you ever competed in any other organizations other than DB Drag?
No, I stuck with DB Drag because that's what I knew and what I was comfortable with.
Okay. Your mom mentioned something about Iasca here, or Randy mentioned something about Iasca. I didn't know if you did that too. All right. Hey, Josh, I appreciate you jumping in. Dude, still always love you, dude. You're a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
We got some big things coming in Reno coming up.
Yep.
Chris, try and join again. I'll click you in. But thanks for coming on. I'm going to try and bring his dad back in. And hopefully I'll see you on the 18th because we're going to be up at Nyman Shop again on the 18th.
That's a Dave's
birthday show. Yep.
Birthday. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to be there for that one for sure. Anything DB Drag, I'm trying to make. So
that's good. So anyway, all right. So
all right, man.
So go ahead and step out, and Chris, jump back in on that same link, please. There he goes. He's gone. So once your dad pops up here again, we'll ask him. But so you've only done DB Drag, huh?
Yeah, because each organization has completely different kind of events, and I was just comfortable with base race and top dog, so that's just where I stuck for most of my what I did for my career.
Okay. That's so are you familiar with any other organizations, or are you just strictly focused? There's your dad.
I've known about Iasca because of my team members competing in Iasca.
Got you. Can you hear us now? Chris, the other Dewitt. He's technically challenged. You know what? I had Mike Jaffe on here. Mike Jaffe, he's I think he told me he was 86 yesterday, and he's about as technically challenged as it comes. I was trying to convince him to turn his phone sideways, and he was having a hard time with that.
All right, I think I got it figured out now.
There we go. I can hear you now. Hey, how's it going, Chris?
It's going pretty good.
Okay. So anything you want to elaborate on what you've seen or heard from what your son said so far?
No, not really. 2016 was his real first year competing. We dabbled in a little bit in 2015, but nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2016 is when we hit it hard. He got a lot of help from his teammates in UCC, Lee Meeker and Gary Batchelor.
Oh yeah,
they helped him a lot.
Yeah, Gary Batchelor, he's a big name back in the day for this car audio stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So, so were you learning along with him, or?
The whole competition part, yes, I was learning. I was in a car audio way before I got CJ into it.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got him into it and we started getting into car clubs and they started showing us the competing side of it and kind of piqued my interest. And so I talked CJ into going out the first time. And it just all went from there.
Wally started it. Who's Wally?
Wally Moore.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, he used to compete in a Red Avalanche.
Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't on the East Coast, so some of these people I'm not very familiar with, but so here's what I tell you. On the West Coast here, we got a guy named Rick Garcia. He was competing. I think I have a video from 2005 I was watching the other day that I was in, and Rick Garcia was at that event, and this last event we had here in January, I think it was, his son at 17 years old, I believe 16 or 17, is now competing as a second generation DB drag guy.
Nice.
That's freaking awesome to me. So what were your experiences with, I know as a dad, I'm a dad myself, I have 3 kids. What were your experiences, traveling around with your son?
It was nice. 90% of the road trips is me driving and him sleeping, but he had to get his rest for the shows. But, those are times I cannot take back at all. It was amazing trips. It was amazing time. We had a bunch of laughs, met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
And it was just a whole nother world.
Yeah. One thing I do love to mention and bring up and talk with people about is the people that you meet there. And in general, they aren't just, it starts with you just meeting them, but it goes way beyond that. Same experience for you guys?
Oh yeah. Even though CJ was the one competing, a lot of the competitors learned me because I was always there. I'd always go up and pay for CJ and make sure he was taken care of and get everything done. That way he didn't have to worry about none of that. But when I go up there and pay, there'd be times where people walk up and say, "Hey, is he competing in 129?" I'll be like, "Yeah, he's competing in 129." They're like, "Man, I'm done. I don't think I want to play.
I'm out." Well, that's kind of why I wanted Nyman in here, because Nyman is the same guy over here. I think he went like 3 years undefeated here in California.
Wow.
So, and we typically have a small bracket would be 6, but most of our brackets, we are always full in the 29.9 class. So at every show, and he just runs them. And he doesn't practice, none of that stuff. He has a lot of time. I do know, like I said, I do remember you coming up and paying for your son at Spring Break Nationals, taking care of that. Is there, like I said, it's way bigger than this. You guys would go to barbecues, I bet, with other people, right? From the events and whatnot?
Most of the time it was just our club. But
Okay.
like when we was down there in Spring Break Nationals and stuff, we all met at local restaurants and hung out and joked around and laughed and just all sorts of stuff. It was a different field.
CJ, were you getting drunk then?
No.
He's just not going to admit it.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Yeah, but look at him in that video from way back. Yeah, there's no way anybody would have confused him for 21 years old. So.
No, I still can't forget the first time he jumped on his hood and started competing. It just blew me away because I was like, man, that's the car we just got done fixing. Why are you jumping on the hood?
Oh, that's right. Because he used to sit right there above his windshield, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Every
right.
competition.
That's right. I remember that. Now that you mention it. Like I said, it's the people that you meet, the family that comes along with you. And obviously he wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of your wife, right?
No, she was always the biggest cheerleader.
Yeah. We actually had a pretty lengthy discussion about that the last show. We were talking about, Andrew McCain and Rob Collier, me, without our wives or our significant other, for us 3, it happened to be our wives, but without them, this journey would not be possible. Their support and their pushing is what helps make everything what it is. Disagree with that at all, or?
Oh no! Every time we was getting ready for a big show, whether it be packing the car or if something happened to the car, we'd be fixing it. She was always bringing us sandwiches and telling us we better get it done, and she was always pushing us,
Okay. I'm
always
betting.
picking at us.
I'm willing to bet uh, if somebody came after CJ for something in the lanes, she probably sniped back at him. I bet.
Oh yeah, she's done it a couple times.
I think I have a recollection of her doing that spring break one year when we were at the Daytona Beach or the 500 place.
Mm-hmm.
So I think somebody said something to him about him not doing something right or something, and she snapped right on him. It's like, whoa, mama
she's
bear.
a little fire. Yeah, she's a little firecracker. We've been married for 21 years.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations.
It's been a wild ride with her, and I would have had it any other way.
There you go. That's great. CJ, so did you ever get sponsored by any companies or anything?
I actually did after I won my first world finals. I won. I got sponsored by Shark Audio.
Shark Audio?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with them.
It was a smaller brand at the time. Ran their amps and competed that year with the amps and did pretty decent that year too.
Okay, very nice. So I mean, we're into probably pretty good territory right now. You like I said, normally I have 3 people on here. I got what's his name? Nyman was supposed to be here. He flaked on us. That's a bummer. But that's okay. Nyman's a great guy. We have a event coming up at his place. It is July 18th. It's going to be Dave's birthday. So team send it Dave. He's a guy out here. He's putting together a team. He jumps in the lanes. He helps the judging. If you're a new guy and you show up, Dave will go over to your car and help you beat him. I mean, that's a cool thing about base race too. The new guy always wins, right? Right? I mean, how often did the new guy come in and win in one of the classes?
Sometimes you gotta let everyone have a chance. Can't just take them all.
You just gotta let them, huh? Josh finally. So you said what? Oh, so what was your setup that you were using at World Finals?
Was it the 12s or the 15s?
You had the Crossfire C712s with the
Phoenix Gold Legacy Elite 1.
Yep.
Okay. And so that was so you were dealing with Roger over at Crossfire then, and those were the Crossfire whatever Team Crossfire subs, right? Or no?
No, they were just the straight C7s.
Oh, okay. So that's what you go to your local store and buy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you were using Crossfire Phoenix Gold. Jesse says it takes time, patience, along with your family backing. And that is probably the most common thread that I hear from all the competitors. But once again, so we got on April 18th, one of these times you got to come on out to California, and you got to try this out here in California. It is more fun than you can even imagine. The California, our shows, like I said, we're having at 1X, we're having high 50s, right? So our base race brackets are full. We have, my trophies I give out are bigger than the trophies they used to give out at Spring Break Nationals. So I'm giving out these nice big trophies. I'm sure Josh can attest to that. But we have barbecues at our events quite often, and it's not like a barbecue you got to pay for. Like somebody will barbecue, and then you come on over and they offer food to you guys and say, hey, come on up, come on, have some food here. I have questions now. Josh says, keep hitting me with questions. Anybody else have any questions in the chat? We got about 5 to 10 minutes left here. Any questions, and I will definitely pass them along to CJ and his dad here. Well, I will say, like I said, so how cool is that I mean, this is 5 years ago, and you're just now learning that was a father-son team that you were going against back there too.
Definitely cool to know because you can actually see that's happening everywhere. That there is actually kids or people around my age that were actually competing with me, and I didn't even know it.
Okay. Yeah. So your mom says she's going to start competing in her Silverado. Says she don't need you anymore. She's going to do it by herself. That's awesome. We need more women competing in this, like I said, because we want you guys to bring your wives, your mothers, your girlfriends, your daughters, your sons. The more people we have competing and the more it's family oriented, the more sustainable this industry will become. I mean, true for you guys. I mean, it's just, you said it helped with bonding, right?
Yeah.
For Chris there. So CJ, you're an only child though, right?
No.
No? Oh, is that who I seen somebody over here? Courtney. Is that a sister?
Yeah, that's my little sister.
Your little sister? Oh, so that's it. That's what you got to do, Chris. You got to bring in his sister.
Oh, she's already bugging me to let her start already.
How old is she?
She's 12.
Oh, she's perfect age. She can do what's that called? Power wheels.
No, she's wanting to base race my truck.
As a matter of fact, I got a 13-year-old girl. Her dad drives the truck into the lanes. It's Team DB Life. I forgot her name off the top of my head. Anna or something. Anyway, it's Isaiah competes all the time. Dave Bradshaw says it's not Monday. I know it's not Monday. I normally do my shows on Monday. But she comes in when she's not playing softball and she competes. Her dad drives the truck into the lane. She's like 13, 14 years old, and she does base race and top dog, which
nice,
dude. And the dad doesn't do anything, just like you. So the dad just helps put stuff together and bring the two youngers, Isaiah and his sister, to the events, and then they compete. That's the kind of stuff I love about this sport. I mean, is there something in particular that you may have gotten out of competing that maybe people don't understand or know?
Well, for me, it's all about the competitors and how their attitudes are. It blows my mind how friendly everybody was during the competition. Even when they would lose or they'd win, it'd be the same, no matter what. They'd always come up, shake your hand, tell you did a good job, and they would always help you. Just like CJ was at a competition, I believe it was in Kentucky, and I was overseas. I was watching it live. The guy had a problem, and CJ ran over to his trunk and was turning wrenches with him, trying to get his system going.
There you go. There's more times that we discuss that than anything else, where somebody jumps in the lanes and helps somebody else out, and in California, we have a culture of win, lose, get out. Hey, good run, shake the guy's hand, tell him, hey, good run. Especially the new guys, right? There's new guys that come in, and if they come out and do a 129.8, that's a really good score. That's a lot better score than people think. It's 1/10, but you're on a razor's edge between 129.9 and 129.8. I mean, how many times what's his name, Lucky McGovern, talked about one time he had the bass knob in his hand and he nailed it. He was on top of it. He was 129.9 all day long. And then he just let go of his bass knob like this and said, see, no hands. And it hit his lap and it bumped up and raised his score. Let's see here. Definitely getting ready for the Get Like Heather show in Florida for July. Then Georgia and Florida state finals before world finals. That's from Randy. CJ answered with the 2 on the fourth order box. You do know Triple Fest is coming up, right?
Where's that at?
That's in Alabama. Close to Pops there, right?
No, I'm in Ohio now too. I just retired.
Oh, man, you retired, so you moved up there too, huh?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Join the life.
Cool. Triple Fest is a really cool. It has multiple organizations. It has the three big ones: USAC, IASCA, and DB Drag, and they're all multi-point events. They're all 3X events. So it's one of the bigger shows in the country throughout the year. It's Josh mentioned great camaraderie at the shows. Before the shows, after the shows. We tend to go out to eat. I like to break bread with my competitors when we're done. Go to dinner. It's all good. But anyway, once again, I was just letting you guys know. So July 18th, we have a event up in Sacramento. We're going to cover Triple Fest this year. We're going to have Josh Tattoo on. One thing people at home may want to look forward to is May 3rd, I think it is. Let me do a quick check on my text here. Ray. Where's Ray at? Ray Choi. May 3rd, I'm going to have Don Hebig, Ray Choi, and I'm trying to get Nathan Munson on here. We're going to talk about the evolution of car audio and the evolution of car audio competition. Both those guys have been around forever, along with Nathan Munson. We're going to talk about how we changed from the stick mics to the sensors to the USBs and then to what we currently have, how they read differently and all that stuff. That's May 3rd. The next show we're going to have is the April 12th, which is going to be Team Send It Dave, and it's going to be Bass Girl from Canada. If you guys don't know who she is, check her out online. She's Canadian. So she's the sweetest person in the world, she apologizes, so she's like I said, she's awesome. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about Old Man Mike. For those guys that don't know, big time competitor back, he recently passed away right at the beginning of this COVID stuff. Not necessarily part of it. Mention here real quick, Randy says, congratulations to that guy for the world record win. And I'm not reading the rest, so. But anyway, hey guys, thank you for coming on. Thank you for participating. I appreciate you guys' time. Good luck, CJ, with the career in the car audio. Car audio, but the mechanic type thing on the high end, right? The high end mechanic work. Yep. And hopefully I get to see you back in the lanes. I promise you. Here we go. Courtney's chiming in. We need to start teaching me. She's ready now.
Yeah, she's been after me.
Oh, don't deny her. Get her up there. Hey, yeah. And maybe you can have her doing 39s and CJ doing 29s.
No, I'm gonna put them in the same class.
Ooh, you're gonna let your little sister kick your butt, huh, CJ?
She's gonna have to earn it.
Oh, she'll try hard. Yeah, I'm sure she's just like every other woman I know. They don't like to lose. I haven't met a woman yet that liked losing. So, but anyway, hey, thank you guys once again for participating. So if you guys don't mind muting real quick, I am going to put our clothes up there. And we'll see you guys on Monday, April 12th. So let me put my clothes.